I've seen Christians that pray more confidently when they are on bike and then pray less confidently when they are traveling in a bus. In fact, such Christians in that bus, they might go to sit behind. They are praying against accidents and they believe they have faith, but they will refuse any seat that is in front. Why? Because in case accident happens, they will not be the first victim or they might survive. And I've seen the same Christians, when they are traveling by plane, their prayer for protection intensifies. Why? Because they are praying from the place of fear. And God does not support prayers that comes from the place of fear, because it indicates two things. You believe in God, but you have also magnified the power of the devil. So when I hear believers talk about the kind of prayer they pray when they are flying, how they command angels, I begin to wonder, are those believers aware that the same evil that is there is also here whenever you are walking from your room to the toilet to pee? There are people who have woken up and on their path to go and pee, they fell down and they died. There are people who went to bed and did not wake up. There are people who just walking on the road got hit by a vehicle. There are people who on bikes had accidents. So whatever was making you confident in this other means of transportation should also make you confident in the airplane. This has a lot to do with the kind of Christian movies we used to act in the past, and then with some kind of teachings. And so a believer knows more about the power of the devil, even more than the power of God in their lives. Just imagine that our children now will teach them that the devil is as powerful as a rat. Imagine the confidence they will have when addressing darkness. But unfortunately for our time, the way they magnify the power of the devil, what they did in trying to portray demons, evil spirits, witches, is the reason why many Christians are afflicted in fear, that they cannot even operate from the place of faith when praying. This is why some believers cannot just even trust their prayer alone. They must put rosary. They must sprinkle holy water. They must put anointing oil by their bedside. They must anoint all their children's head. They must hang a portrait of Jesus on the wall. Why? Because they are trying in all their efforts to engross the atmosphere with a much greater power, because the devil is that powerful. It all boils down to our mindsets. So Jesus said to his disciples in the book of Mark 4:40, that why do you have fear? Where is your faith? And to show you that they were afraid, look at what they said to Jesus in verse 38. And he was in the hinder part of the ship, asleep on a pillow. Jesus was sleeping. And they woke him up. And they said unto him, Master, don't you care that we perish? What kind of prayer is that? Instead for them to say, Master, please wake up. We've been praying. We want you to join us in prayer. But look at the question they were asking Jesus, to show that they were so scared and they were wondering why this one was sleeping. If you are confident of God's power on the ground, you should be confident of God's power